Well, let me do an update on my propagation, my Blackberry propagation. These are Freedoms and Travelers. I'll show you the Freedom first. They look pretty darn good. I have probably, and I'm not going to mess with them much because I don't want to hurt them. I have probably got about an 80% success rate. I would think I had 30 cuttings in this pot. Again, this pot is about 14 inches tall, about 12 inches in diameter. It's a big 5-gallon pot or thereabouts. Anyway, let me just try to show you a few of them. That one's got a real good, see that? And many of them have that. I mean, some nice growth. Again, this is the Freedom, probably an 80% success rate. I did not have these under a misting system. I dismantled mine to do some stuff, remodeling, changing stuff. So I didn't have the misting system. So what I did was just lay a garden hose. I put these out on my carport and laid a garden hose beside it. And every time I walked by, I sprayed them, and certainly in the morning and at night and a couple of times during the day if at all possible. But they've done real well. I really have done real well. Now, these were quite a bit larger cuttings because the Freedoms in the ground did better and produced a heavier plant, bigger stems, canes, and so I had a lot better cuttings to work with. That's what I'm saying. I like to have a pencil-sized cutting if at all possible, and as you can see, that's about a pencil-sized cutting. So some of these are probably a little bit better than pencil size. So that's what I like to work with. Those are the ones that seem to do best. In fact, in the last video, I said we would kind of do a test and see if size mattered. Well, size does matter. These are the Traveler, Prime Arc Traveler Blackberries. Where this is probably an 80% success rate, this is probably an 80% failure rate. Now, it could very well be because I didn't have the misting system, and they just didn't get the mist like they should with the frequency. But also, it's because very few of those are pencil sized. I don't think I see any of them that are actually pencil sized. Some of them are close, but not quite. Others have asked about what to look for. Well, this is what you look for, is top growth. And then after a while, and I'll give you another update probably in about a month or so. I'll give you another update when it comes time to separate them, because you need to see that. But it could very well be that the Travelers are just not as hardy as the Freedoms. It could very well be that I just didn't have good enough stock, good enough cuttings to work with. They were smaller, not pencil size like I like. It could be that I did just because I didn't have them under a misting system. I don't know, for whatever reason, and they're not doing as well in the ground. The Travelers are not doing as well in the ground as the Freedoms. So I'm going to probably intermingle the rows, the row of Travelers. I may go ahead and use these to fill in the row if I have enough. I mean, they're not out of the woods yet. If I have enough, I may use these to fill in the rows. If not, if I don't have enough, then I'll fill in the rows with some of those. Let me just show you what to look for when you are propagating. That is kind of an anomaly. It's a brown stalk, which I would have thought was deader than a hammer, but it's got growth. So much of these, you can see how this one, let me get my pointer here, how this one died, turned black or turned brown, dried out on the top. That could be from not misting like I should. But I'm probably going to have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I see some just starting. That one right there is just starting. That one right there is just starting. So some of these are just late bloomers, I guess. I mean, I may get a better stand than what I think, because I didn't really, till just now, I didn't see that one, and I didn't see that one there. And there are a few more down in there. I believe that one right there may be something going on. So it may be that one right there. I would have thought was dead, but it's got Yeah, it's got a little something going on right there. I would have thought they may do better than it looks than first glance. I don't know that they're going to beat these, but they may do better than first glance. So anyway, here's a 1 month update of the Travelers and the Freedom. Prime Arc Traveler, Prime Arc Freedom. And I'm doing these because I had such a poor success rate in the ground. I'm beginning to think it's gopher. I have got a lot of gopher activity out there, and I'm finding some dead plants in my Propagate rows that are several years old. I'm finding some that look that the roots are chewed off when you pull them up, and it just breaks off. I'm finding that in some of the established plants from last year that should be putting out berries this year but are dead. So that being said, I'm going to do some gopher hunting, trapping, poisoning, whatever. And but here's the update. I've talked almost 7 minutes, and I hope you see what you needed to see. I hope I've answered your questions. But propagation is easy. Blackberries are easy. Use the dip and grow for sure, or some type of rooting hormone. It seems to really help, I believe. Get them as deep. Watch the first video. I'll have a link at the end of this video. There'll be a link to the first video, and watch it. I've got an entire playlist on propagation, and that's grapes and blackberries and muscadines and I don't know, a little bit of everything probably. So watch the playlist. I'll have a link to the playlist also. But anyway, here it is, the 1 month anniversary of these little boys and girls. And I may be surprised. I'm getting more growth than what I originally saw. And even back in there, that right there is beginning. I would have thought that sucker dead in a hammer. Look at it, how brown it is. But it looks like we're getting some growth right there. That one right there, got to shoot. So this may, Travelers may do better than what I thought. Again, they did not have the size as I had over here. So I do believe size matters. Size at least matters we're giving them a good head start. These may catch up. These may make some good plants. I don't know. But I do believe it matters when it comes to getting them rooted fast. So these evidently took root fast. Now what I will look for before I start, or when and people have asked me this, when to separate them. When will I take them out of this pot and put them in individual pots? I'm not going to plant these till fall, because Texas heat is just too much. If I pull these out of here right now, they have a little spindly root system. I'll put them in the ground and they will die in about 2 months. So what I will do is put them in pots, keep them watered, keep them taken care of, maybe even shaded somewhat, and then plant them in the fall, probably October, November, whenever it starts to cool off a little bit. That will give them all winter long to really put out a good root system before next year. And one of the reasons I think my other plants have failed is because I planted them in spring, February, March, and I just don't think that is a good time here in Texas to plant plants, at least blackberries. But what I will look for when I got sidetracked there. What I will look for when I begin to separate these and put them into individual pots, I'll look down here and look for roots. When I see roots starting to come out, or if they just get so dang big that I know I've got to do something with them. When they start getting, I mean, they've got roots right now. They've got little hair roots, but I want them to have a good root system. Separate them carefully, gently, and then put them into pots, and then they'll go crazy in the individual pots. So I'll show you that when it comes time for that. But this is the 1 month update of the Propagating Freedoms, Propagating Travelers. A little sad, but hey, I think they're gonna make me happy. I think they're gonna do all right, better than I thought they was gonna do. I'm probably gonna have a 50% success rate here, and I would say I've got 80% here. But again, probably 30 cuttings in each one, and gosh, I'll have, I don't know, I'll tell you when I get there. So look for another update in, I don't know, a month or two. I may go ahead and do an update every month. I don't know, until we get them potted up and then show you that as their last update. But we'll see. But this is propagating. And boy, do they look pretty.